Ba-da-da-da-da, what's a game? It's Doki Doki Literature Club. Again. When last we left our hero Poop, he had just shown his poem to the lovely Monica, and was preparing to show it to some other girl, and dear God, that sounds like torture. So we're gonna start a new game, which interestingly doesn't ask me to change my name, but I figured something out about this game and I want to go through it real quick. Now, first thing you'll notice, I'm holding down control, and holy shit, all the talking. Like, it takes a solid minute to go through this. It's ridiculous. But that whole first game was, it was like a half hour talking. So we get to the poem. There's 20 pages, 10 words each. And the one thing I figured out is each word corresponds to one of the three girls you see here in chibi form, which either means that Monica is not available as a love option, or it's like, okay, there's 10 words here, so you got 3 for Sayori, 3 for Natsuki, 3 for Yuri, and then 1 specifically for Monica. I haven't figured out if that's the case or not. But what it does mean, last time, if you remember, Monica said that Sayori would like my poem. Well, I was going for all, like, the happy words, because I thought Monica would like those. No, it turns out Sayori likes the happy stuff, Natsuki likes the cute words and clothing for some reason, and Yuri likes all the dark words, and as far as I can tell, she also likes the big words? Like, I'm pretty sure she likes effulgent. Yeah, see, she jumped there, so that's one of hers. So we're gonna go through this real quick. Let's see, broken, that's Sayori, which is interesting. I'm not sure what else. Okay, there's one for her, graveyard, excellent. Tragedy, no, that's Sayori. I have to be careful. I know scars is Sayori. Melancholy, yes. Crimson, secretive. Intellectual, prayer, no, that was bad. Dark. Oh, wow, that's Sayori? Fuck. I better not screw this up, or I'm gonna be real mad at myself. After image, yeah, she likes big words. Anxiety. Death is Sayori for some reason. What the hell? Empty is Sayori for some reason. This is killing me. Okay, vitality. Despise. Sadness is Sayori. Fester is Yuri. We're trying to get Yuri here because Sayori sucks. I mean, they all suck, but the fact that Yuri likes the dark, scary words is kind of hilarious, all things considered. Aha! I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. This is the part where the story starts diverging. So let's see, if we go to history, yeah, she gave me the book, and Sayori and Monica are talking in the corner, and Natsuki goes to the closet. So let's see what Yuri has to say. At the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Dots. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. I don't see it all. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. That's interesting. Okay. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison, like you do, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came up from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Poop? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I'm a big, strong, manly man, Yuri. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories,
They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans.
I really wonder if this is like foreshadowing for further in the game or something. That would be... I don't know how this could apply if it was, but I'm distinctly on the lookout for that kind of thing.
I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I'm very interested, if you know what I mean.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange.
That's kind of adorable.
And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it.
Dots.
Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. My blog. I put the book in my blog. There's a love letter in it or something. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. Well, what the fuck do you do in this club?
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. That's probably because she's reading over my shoulder. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. See? I told you! I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you're really Fluttershy a lot, aren't you?
I do? I don't really mean to.
Sorry.
I mean...
Her eyes disappeared. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. This guy, has no idea what a fucking smooth mover he is, does he?
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. How scandalous. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. Okay, I'm having trouble picturing this. I'm bad with my left and right. It's a failing. I guess it kind of makes it difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Oh my. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Well, thank you for this lovely illustration so I can figure out what the fuck is going on. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. I'm very glad you described that to us in detail. That was really necessary, guys. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. So, again, it's worth noting, if you remember the last video, buttoning up Sayori's blazer, that's what this scene is taking the place of. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh?
To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second by your titties. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. Did her eye actually move? I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, her face is actually changing. I can't tell because I'm paying attention to the words.
You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. That's... oh, God, why? My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side. Why? Why is this a thing? Hey, Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit, oh dear.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But Poop, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her.
Oh fuck, I just made it self-conscious.
Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I didn't realize you were self-conscious about your self-consciousness.
Dots.
I guess I more mean that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone.
Dots! I think it's about time we shared a day's poems with each other. Oh yeah, let's not forget about that. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Ow! Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. In other words, it doesn't get good until chapter 3. Alright, I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, okay, let's see, so we can skip this stuff. Awesome. I have a feeling Monica's just gonna see more or less the same thing. Let's see. Great job, Poop. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. I wonder what I wrote. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. And it's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Yeah, see? Bingo. So Monica's the bellwether, she tells you who will like it. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, I think she's in fact telling me what everyone likes. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. Holy shit, would you please shut up? I'm nowhere near your level yet. Don't worry so much, you do your own thing, keep exploring. Okay, that was her poem. Okay, now we're gonna show it to Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Dots? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Or maybe I just clicked on words in a rebus. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? This is my first time, and it's with you, Yuri. Oh my. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Dots? Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Like, they suck. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part.
All of this dialogue about how to write poetry is fucking riveting.
It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback.
I hope I don't have to show it to everybody to continue on.
Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that.
So what you're saying is I need to show this to Natsuki next, and that'll be great.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be literature club? So let's see what we got. Ghost into the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate breath beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. What? The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms breathing air of the present, but living in the past. Okay. The light flickers, I flicker back. Wasn't that a line in Monica's poem? Whatever.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
She does. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. That's because I'm illiterate, Yuri. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Huh? That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. I like them long, if you know what I mean.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghost theory?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Poop.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, and you're not that smart. But remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Poop.
Me too. Oh shit, I'm gonna go show it to Natsuki next.
Poop, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home.
That's a great first line.
What?
Harsh.
What, can you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid?
Yes. I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it.
Exclamation points.
Painful to think about.
Dots. Fine. Well, sorry. You get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again.
Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Anyways, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can see, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Gee, that actually is a pretty decent poem for all that it's very simplistic.
Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. You're cute, kid. Go home. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, because age is only a number, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. So now we show it to Sayori, because there is no escape from this hell.
This is a good poem, Poop. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. Not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
Hehehe, I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Poop. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know?
Deep down, you're almost a real person. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Hee hee hee.
We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed and making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. God, this is adorable and terrible. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I'd sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. You can see where she got distracted toward the end. This is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Whenever I'm feeling down, Sayori, I'll just think of you and feel better.
Don't be so mean. I still tried my best.
Ah, yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah, stupid. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Oh, even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Ah, yeah.
But next time I won't forget, and I'm going to write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Oh, dear God, we're done. I guess it's everyone. I glanced around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated. Yeah, you're telling me. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration because she's dumb. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly because she knows that Natsuki is dumb. What's with this language? Huh?
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy.
Nah, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice, because there's really nothing nice to be said about it.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
Well, I was looking for suggestions. I would have asked someone who actually liked it. That's actually not how this works, Natsuki. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Poop did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all...
Excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Poop liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. God, they're fighting over who liked whose poem more. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you just...
Yuri stands up as well. Man, I thought they were going to fight for a second, but this is completely different.
Maybe you're just jealous that Poop appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Wow. Fucking harsh, Yuri. There's some distinct, deep-seated drama in this club.
Is everyone okay?
No. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Poop started showing up. What? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Oh, shit.
Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
I don't like fighting guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Poop, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Poop.
Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. Whatever language that happens to be. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Poop?
Well, Dots. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Ah ha ha. So of course that's going to be, so we can pick Natsuki, Yuri, or help me, Sayori. Obviously we're trying to go with Yuri here, so we'll make our second fucking decision in the game. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean, you little shit. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri.
You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. So this is like mansplaining the dating sim now? Okay, that's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. You know, use some simple words. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists, because that's literally one of her character frames. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, and at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her, and I am a soulless abomination of a person. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm gonna go do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches up her own poem from the desk and storms out. Who knew poetry was such a heated drama? On her way out, she crumbles up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki? She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. If I think less of anyone, it's Natsuki, the little shit. Well... Alright, I believe you. Thanks, Poop, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? You fucking wench. Oh boy. Sounds like a pretty good place to stop for the moment. We'll go ahead and save. Save over this first one. Bloop. And this one. Whoops. Well, whatever. Next time, we'll see where things go with Yuri, I guess. I'm finding things to laugh at, but this is still a fairly dull game. Okay. Actually, the story isn't about a goat dog poop. It's not about a goat poop.